one.
cold.
So,
I'm
Smarties,
freezing.
why are they the best candy in existence?
Well,
Is it
for
A,
one,
because
oh,
they're only 25 calories for the entire stick?
very lightweight.
Yep. Or B, because they're sweet and sour. How did you
Or
describe them? They taste like salt, but
no.
sugar?
Okay, so they're nothing but sugar, but the texture is the same as chalk.
Oh, chalk.
Yeah. Or at least, so like my friends, they hate me. So like, uh, no, my friends they don't, or a lot of my friends don't like Smarties because they're like it's just chalk, and I'm like, and what's wrong with that?
Yeah, spoken like a
As a
true person that didn't eat glue when they were younger. What a bunch of
I
posers.
didn't eat glue, thank you.
What?
I ate a lot of things, but it wasn't glue. I did eat chalk. I ate rocks and sand, or
Yeah,
it was
okay. Yeah,
specifically
yeah.
sand, not rocks.
I have a dog that
Uh,
used to eat concrete, so, you know.
I also licked batteries,
Well,
specifically 9-volt batteries.
how are you alive?
I also, the cushioning in like couches.
Please don't tell me you ate those.
It wasn't like the soft or like the soft what's it called, cottony ones. It was like the spongy kind.
So
I not only
when are they going to
I
feature you on My Strange Addiction?
I not only ate those, or like I would just rip pieces off and just eat that as a kid because I like the texture. Um, but I would, like, if I had a drink, I would like dip it in there, and then like a sponge, I would like put it in my mouth and I would smush it so I would get all the juice out of it. I don't know why, but it was good for some
You know
reason.
what? I don't think we can be friends anymore. I'm sorry. That's it.
Out of all the things you've learned about
Yeah,
me,
that puts me.
that's what it is.
Put me over the edge right there. I have to tell everybody. Does everybody know about this? Because
Well,
they're
they do
about to.
now.
They're
I
about to
think I've
know
talked about
all
this
about.
before, probably, maybe on the other podcast. You guys should go listen to the podcast on YouTube and Spotify. The
That.
pretty cool people, Lamb, that's me. I'm on there but under a different persona. It's just me still.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's far less technical difficulties over there than there are here.
no, yeah. So, uh,
If you
just
can believe
to
it.
this is our second episode today.
Yep. Somebody
Because
somebody unplugged their entire
okay,
mic setup.
can I explain myself?
I'd
Because
love you to try. I'd love you to try with that, with
because
me heckling you in the background the whole time
yeah.
while I eat
So
Smarties.
eat your Smarties, you dummy. So what happened was we were recording the other episode, which we're gonna probably try to release it still.
Mm-hmm.
And my computer itself decided, hey, we're just going to act like you unplugged all of your USB ports and then plugged them back in. So that happened, and so as John was talking, I just hear the sound of my USB ports all being taken out and then being put back in, even though nothing was touching it. Nobody was touching anything. And when that happened, my microphone switched from this one to, I'm guessing it was probably the camera microphone, because I
It
think that's
didn't
only the
sound
microphone.
great. Yeah, it sounded like you were far
Yeah,
away and in a tunnel.
I think that's the only other microphone I have hooked up to my computer. So I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I went to my camera mic. It was really bad. And so when you start recording on Riverside, you can't change your microphone typically. So what I did was I unplugged my microphone and I plugged it back in. And everything was all good. But apparently Riverside didn't like that because it cut my audio into 3 different tracks. The first 2 got recorded or got uploaded. The last one, after my mic was reset and everything was back to normal, it did not upload. So we lost a whole 30 minutes of an episode on my side.
Luckily, he wasn't saying much. I was on a rant. I was on
Thank
a
God.
rant about how much I love the Renaissance Fair,
Yeah.
and I'll be releasing that whole thing at
Do
some
you
point because how cool!
hear me out? Hear
Yeah.
me out.
Mm-hmm.
Either we can release that whole episode, or we can cut it off when my microphone messes up and have that as a half episode. And or we could do that and then also release your rant about your Ren Fair also as a
Yeah.
half episode or a bonus episode.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan to me. On the bright side, because I went on such a long tangent about the Ren Fair, I only got through one of my topics. So
Yeah,
I have more than enough to
I
talk
went through
about
all
for
my
this week.
topics.
And
No,
I
I didn't.
don't
I
have to
still have
fall
another one.
back. I don't have to fall back on my usual movie shtick because I got up to some wacky hijinks, not just at the Ren Fair.
Mhm,
Let me
mhm.
ask you a question. What
Okay.
happens when you multiply 9 by 9 by 9?
That's 81 times 9. I don't know what that math is.
It's a pretty big number. However, it's fortunate because the full number doesn't actually matter. It's the segments, right? Have you ever
Mm,
heard of a 9 by 9 by 9?
no.
Okay, okay. This is excellent. My whole shtick can work here. So a 9 by 9 by 9, right? It's three numbers. You have to
Mhm,
do 9 things in wait. Oh yes, yes. Okay, it's a game that you play during baseball. There are 9 innings in baseball.
hmm.
During those 9 innings, one must consume completely to completion 9 hot dogs
Oh my god.
and 9 beers. I
Uh,
participated in a 9 by 9 by 9.
John, I don't think that's consider with all the work and effort you've put towards your physical health recently and weight loss. I don't think
Mhm.
that was a good idea.
I can tell you, I probably would have had a much easier go of it, if I had done this a year or 2 ago. Mhm.
Mhm.
I without spoiling the ending, because there is some build up to this, there were 4 of us that participated in this challenge. We had a 50% success rate. 50%. I
That's
don't know if
good.
that sounds high to you, because
I
9
mean, that's
hot
still a
dogs
feeling
and 9
great, but
beers. I suppose. Although if you think about it, the odds of
wait,
all of
question.
us. Mhm.
This is a 9 by 9 by 9 for
Yep.
each of you, not
Mhm.
like you split it up.
So there's 36 hot dogs and
Oh my
36
god.
buns and
What
36 beers.
what was there a reward for this other than bragging rights?
Bragging rights.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Okay. Please do continue.
Okay. So, we this all sort of started because one of my friends is he plays baseball, semi-professionally. He plays a collegiate. He plays at the collegiate level.
Oh yeah, you brought this up.
The original plan was we were going to go to the ballpark and get it all there while we watched him play because he was going to be playing in the game that we had intended on doing this challenge at. However, A, that would be around 200 plus dollars per person to get all of those hot dogs and all of that beer.
Damn.
That was, put a bit of a damper on it, but we were still like, okay, this is like a one time thing. If we pass, we never have to do it again. No problem. Let's just get her done. Right. However, he ended up not pitching that day because he played in the game the day before. There was like a couple of them that were running that week, which worked out because he instead got to join us in doing the 9 by 9 by 9 while the rest of his team, the other pitchers, ran the game on Wednesday. In addition, we got to do it at home rather than at the park. So
Oh,
far
at least you had
cheaper.
the comfort of home.
Yeah, yeah.
But god.
We had there was probably I mean, this plan was put into place like 3 months ago when we found out about this. One of the 4 that tried was like, "Yeah, we should do it. This is the day. Let's set the date now." Right? So it's been in our calendar for that long. So day of, we have to set some rules. We have to put some rules down because I had a couple of questions, right? What is a hot dog? Is it is it the dog? Is it the dog in the bun? What about the condiments? Do we
Yeah.
include those? Are they optional? What is the minimum amount that we can eat? And what like we need to agree on some terms, right? Before this
Mhm.
challenge starts. That way afterwards nobody goes, well, you didn't eat the bun on this one. It's like, okay, well, that's fair, right? So what we determined was also some of us are gluten intolerant, so we had to include stipulations for gluten-free bread.
Yeah.
But
That's good at least.
what we determined was hot dog and bun is the bare minimum.
Mhm.
Condiments are extra. You can put as much as you want on there. They don't matter. You can do it, you cannot do it. I can tell you we all did condiments.
It probably made it a little
It
easier.
was a little bit easier to eat. Yeah. The other problem that we had was in the original rule set that we had uh, sort of initially written out. We had, I think, 16-ounce beers, I think. However, all the bottles generally come as 12. And the reason that they were that we started at 16 was because that's how much we thought they were at the actual ballpark. But we found out that they serve all kinds 12, 16, and 24s. So we moved it down to 12. We made it a little bit easier on ourselves so that we
That's
could
probably a good
actually
idea.
use, you know, regular beer instead of the tall ones that we would have to go and specially buy extra wise. So, made it a little bit easier. But like I said, 50% success rate on this. To you, as an outsider, having not done the 9 by 9 by 9, what part do you think was the hardest? Was it the hot dog? Oh, by the way, maybe I should clarify a little bit. You have to eat all 9 and drink all 9 before the game ends, but
Got
you
it.
cannot start the next hot dog or the next beer until the next inning. So,
So you had a little time between, I
mm,
guess.
inning
Well,
1
depending on how
starts.
fast it goes.
Exactly, exactly. Inning 1 starts, you can eat the dog, you can drink the drink. You can't do anything until inning 2 starts. However,
Mhm.
if you're behind, right, say inning 6, and you're still working on 6 hot dog and 6 beer, and they do something like, for example, a double play and get 2 people out and the inning immediately changes, you have to finish your 6 hot dog and 6 beer before you can start working on the 7th one.
Dear God.
I mean, you had to eat them all in the end anyway, right? But right, I repeat my question. What do you think you would have the hardest time with? The hot dogs and the buns, 9 hot dogs or the 9 beers?
Um, I guess for me, what would I do? I think as someone who doesn't drink beer too often, I feel like that would be a bit of a nasty taste after a while.
Yeah, keep in mind we did we clarified beers to be any alcohol in a 12-ounce thing, right?
Oh, so it wasn't
So
just like straight. Okay.
they were drinking um Lone Star, I think,
Hmm.
right? Very sort of not watery, but like it's very, very plain, very basic, sort of almost tasteless in comparison.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, had a lot of I didn't buy beer. I had uh storage on hand from multiple parties. So it was sort of a grab bag, right?
Hmm.
I had one Lone Star, but then I started mixing it around a little bit. They were Baja Blasts. I had some
Oh,
root beers. I forget all that I had, but I did not only drink Lone Star. They did, however.
I see.
So you could theoretically drink whatever you would like.
Um, then I guess it comes down to you for me. How drunk would I end up being by like the third or fourth beer? Because
Fair.
I'm an
Yeah.
extremely lightweight. I think if I'm like pretty well like buzzed, I think it would make it a little bit more tolerable, honestly. Because I think
Mhm.
whenever I get drunk, I do like to eat like greasy foods, at least.
Hmm.
But I honestly think probably the hot dog because after a while, the taste of it will become wretched, and then I would like notice like how it feels in my mouth, and I would hate the texture of it.
Hmm.
Um, although I think if I was trying to min max my drinking and eating, I would take a bite of the hot dog, take a drink, let the drink sit in my mouth for a little bit to soften the bread to make it more tolerable and easier to munch down on. And hope that that helps.
That sounds that sounds awful. That sounds so much
Yeah,
worse than what we did.
it does sound awful. It sounds terrible.
Well, I can tell you that in building up to it, like you said, I have been much more food conscious the past couple of years, and I knew that I couldn't eat anything in the morning because I just wanted to be able to eat all these hot dogs and drink all these beers
It's
without
basically a
being
hot dog competition.
yeah, yeah. I didn't want to be not self-conscious, but I didn't want to feel bad about eating hot dogs and, just like basically binging for a day. So I didn't eat anything the entire day before. Or no, not the entire day before, but like the build up to it, right? Like the hot dog was the first thing that I ate that day. With that in mind, I thought I'd
Uh-oh.
be way more drunk than I was with just
Oh,
one
no.
beer.
Yeah, because you had nothing in your stomach.
Exactly. But the bun, that bun,
It
okay.
soaks up a lot.
I it
That's
was
straight
crazy
bread,
because I
bud.
never got drunk, but I have never been well, I never got like wasted drunk, but I have never been more intoxicated for longer in my life. I can tell you I woke up the next morning, I was still like, "Something is wrong."
Yeah.
Like, I felt fine the night before, but not, like, fine. It was definitely, like, really bad during the game,
Mhm.
and then afterwards, we played a board game and cooled off for a couple of hours, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, I think it's all out of my system now. I'm gonna drive back to the house, went
Oh,
back home,"
boy.
and then I woke up the next morning and I went, "I I I'm still full. My stomach is still full, and I still feel
Your stomach was taking a long time to process.
yeah. Just 'cause of all that bread was in there, but I'm getting ahead of
Yeah.
myself. I'm getting ahead of myself.
I think that means he won, you guys.
Like I said, we had a 50% success rate.
Mhm.
2 of us made it all the way through.
Okay.
Me personally, I regretfully have to say I did not win. To
What?
make it worse,
Pathetic.
I made it to 8.
Damn.
I didn't tap out at like, "Oh man, 3 hot dogs, I could do it." No, I made it to 8 out of 9. Granted, to my credit, I finished the 8th hot dog and the 8th beer at like the end of the ninth inning.
Oh, so you
I
just
was
didn't make
like,
it in time.
I have to cramp. And I
Yeah.
pounded the last 2 and then laid down on the floor for a little bit and went, "Oh, please let them go to overtime." No, they were winning. We were winning too much. We had won the game by that point.
Oh, no. I
Uh,
have a question.
yeah,
For the hot dogs, what kinda hot dogs were they? Were they like the chicken and pork one, like mixed one, or was it like 100% pure Angus beef?
I think it was whatever like the base ballpark one is,
I
like
don't know.
ballpark brand. I think it was maybe
Oh,
just
let's see.
pork.
Ballpark,
We did
hot
have we had the option of swapping it up,
dogs.
but we decided that for the sake of
Oh, yeah,
convenience.
100% beef.
Yeah, oh beef. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, see, I actually know they have multiple different kinds, actually.
Mhm.
So it
We
could've
saw,
been any of
like,
them.
chicken and then a mixture as well that we
Yeah.
considered getting, but we decided that it might be easier to eat chicken than it would be to eat beef,
Yeah.
so we're like, "Well, let's just keep it universal." That's something that we all of us in the group could eat pork
Yeah.
or sorry, beef, so we just went with that.
See,
But
I'm an
it could have been
elitist.
worse. It could have been worse because the
Yeah.
other dude that didn't make it out, he made it to 8.5.
Uh,
Well, no, wait.
he ate 8 and he was on the ninth one.
He finished the ho he had half a beer left,
Mm,
but he ate the hot dog and then he went to the bathroom and came back out and the game ended as he was walking towards his beer.
damn.
And he went, "Can I finish this?" And the 2 guys that had already finished it went, "Nope, game's over. You lost."
Dang.
It
That
was
doesn't
it
sound
was
like a fun experience.
it was it was very impressive because, he picked the beer, "Can I finish this?" They said, "No," and he went, "Okay." He put the beer back down, turned around, and walked over to the bathroom, and instantly hurled everything back up.
Oh,
There was
no.
no buildup, he didn't shut the door. He was like, "Alright," walked over there and went, "Bah!" all into the toilet. It's
God
clean too,
dang.
he didn't get it everywhere, it's very efficient. I honestly wished I could have done that because when I got up and went to the bathroom myself, I was going in there and it's like, okay, I felt it, right? I was like, I may not be able to hold this down.
Yeah.
and there was like a solid dry heave, and
Ooh.
then nothing. Like, okay, and the feeling then completely passed. It's like, okay, that was really weird. I don't know what just happened, but we're good to go. Then we played some games for a couple of hours. So unfortunately, yeah, didn't make it through the 9 by 9 by 9. I made it to 8 by 9 by 9.
I think if I was able to willpower my way through, I think I could get at least 7.
At least 7. I thought I
Yeah.
could. I thought it wouldn't be a problem, and I'd just be able to push through. I
Mhm.
I think I definitely underestimated the volume, because for the most part, it wasn't the hot dogs for me. It was the beer. It was
Oh.
I couldn't physically force myself to drink more beer. I was like, I can keep eating these hot dogs because they're tasty. I was grilling them, so I was like, these are tasty. I'm making them the way I like them. See, I got John's right.
Mhm.
First of all,
No Johns.
we had uh 36 buns, but 9 of them had to be gluten free for our gluten
Mhm.
intolerant individual in the party. They don't sell them in packs of 9. They sell them in
Yeah.
packs of 6. So we had to get 2, which means I ended up taking the bullet and going, "Well, I'll eat 3 of the gluten free buns," right?
Yeah.
Just to make it easier for everybody. In hindsight, I should have made the other 2 guys also eat one of the gluten free buns. And uh, unfortunately, I ended up eating 4 of his buns instead of 3 because I
God
lost
damn.
count. And they're much spongier. They're very different. They don't break down as easily as the regular hot dog buns, right?
Mhm.
So, excuse number 1, if I had stuck with regular hot dog buns, would have been easier.
Mhm.
Part 2, they said it was easy to drink all of that, all of the Lone Star they were drinking, because it was the same flavor and it had less alcohol content than some of the ones that I was going for, and less sugar, right?
Yeah.
I was drinking like a Baja Blast, right? Which had, I think, probably an additional percentage of alcohol in there and way more sugar. So I wasn't doing myself any additional favors by drinking those as well,
Yeah.
which was just making my stomach more upset and more full. And yeah, I think those are the 2 main things that if I could go back and do it again, it would not be gluten-free buns, and it would probably be Lone Star or whatever cheap beer that we could have gotten that wasn't, low alcohol content and not
Mhm.
as fizzy, 'cause, some of those that I was drinking were also carbonated.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, really, I did it on hard mode, and I made it to
You
8.
almost made it through, yeah.
Uh-huh. So I think I could do it. I think I could.
I will say I do struggle with eating food sometimes because I'll be eating something and then as I'm eating it, it could be my favorite food ever. My brain will just switch and be like, I don't want to eat this anymore. It's fucking disgusting. And
Yeah,
that's
there
what
was
it, like
definitely some mind over
yeah.
matter, I suppose, might be the way.
And then
Like,
anytime
oh,
anything I eat after that point, I'm gonna feel like I'm force feeding myself.
yeah, that's why I chose not to eat anything up till that point because I wanted to
Hmm.
be as um
Empty.
motivationally free as possible.
Yeah.
That's probably not the right way to say it, but I didn't want to feel any guilt over, well, I ate healthy earlier today and then just blew all of that hard work out of the water.
Hmm. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Couldn't be me.
Yeah. At a certain point, I stopped rooting for our team because we were winning too much and winning
Yeah.
too fast. It's like, you guys got to slow it down. There was
Hey
not even
guys, come
one
on.
timeout called.
God dang.
It was,
They
I mean, there were some,
decimated.
yeah, there were some brutal double plays. I mean, the first hot dog, when they started the game, I started grilling in the lead up to it when they were starting to do like the announcing, but they started the game too fast, and so we ended up having to microwave the first 2 or the first hot dogs round,
Mhm.
which ended up working out because we managed to eat those, and they ended that first inning in like 5 minutes. The
God damn.
quote that I saw online was 9 innings, you might be going for like 2 hours, right? maybe 20 minutes an inning, give or take a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, I could totally do that. 20 minutes to eat a hot dog. I could even take a 15-minute break. I go walk around the house, come back, and then pound it before the next one starts.
Yeah, they didn't want you having fun.
For real. There were at least 2 of the innings, maybe 3, were sub 5 minutes.
God dang.
The first one wasn't too bad. It was, "Oh, this is, like, exciting. I'm hungry. I have to eat this hot dog quick, drain the beer, bam." I was one of the first ones done, already
Yeah.
grilling up the next dogs. Then they ended it, and it was next hot dog. Then they started getting longer. It's like, "Okay, we could slow this down a little bit. This isn't a sprint. It's a
Mm.
marathon."
Nah, no, it's not apparently.
But then, round maybe 7, they double play ended it instantaneously, and it was like another 5-minute one, and we were all going, "Oh my god, how are we going to eat hot dogs?" I'm chewing my last hot dog, and we have to start the next one, and I have not really stopped.
Yeah.
It was really fun, though. I can tell you, it was a lot of fun in the prep, in the build-up, and in the performance. Um, the loss and the aftermath was a little less fun. All I did the next day was eat fiber to try and
Ugh. Poop everything out.
get it out of there. Yep. Yeah, so that was my 9 by 9 by 9 experience. I highly recommend. It was a lot of fun. I
No.
had a lot of fun.
No. Don't recommend it.
I've been told we're never doing it again, but I I didn't win. So, that will be my demon forever. I have to finish the 9 by 9 by 9.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool, I guess. You're crazy.
You sound very unenthused by this.
I
That I
am.
spoken like someone that would not try the 9 by 9 by 9. You owe it to yourself. It's a
No,
it's a
I
rite
feel
of
I'm disappointed in
passage.
you, actually.
What do you mean?
You know
Are you
why.
disappointed that I failed, or are you disappointed that
Yeah,
I
I'm just
tried?
it's just you in general.
How dare you? How dare you? I come to you with this information hoping that you'll approve of it and say, "Good job. You did a great job. I know you didn't win, but cheer up."
No.
Wow. Wow. Well, you know what? When I make you do the 9 by 9 by 9 in the
You've made me do a
saw
lot of
cell,
things, John,
yep, I'm gonna trap
and
you in a
and
cell
none
and I'm
of
gonna
them
go,
have been all the things you make me do, especially regarding food, have ended in disaster.
"Would you like to play a game? You
No!
can't get out of this room until you eat all 9 hot dogs and drink all 9 beers.
I'm gonna pee on the camera. I'm
It's
a sharpshooter.
waterproof. You'll never make it out. You'll
Damn it!
drown in urine before you stop me from watching this.
I'll just die of starvation.
You won't be able to resist the hot dogs. They've been grilled to perfection. They're fresh. I put a new one through the little slot whenever you finish the last one.
I'm eating the first one, and then you'll just be like, "Oh, you fool, it's actually a chicken hot dog, not beef."
If you don't finish it in 5 minutes, I'll break your pinky toe.
That's fucked.
Well, welcome to Saw, buddy.
You're a crazy man.
Speaking of crazy people, John
Mhm.
Cena's evil now.
Yeah, I
Have you
saw that.
seen this?
Yeah.
Oh my. I got to see it live, baby. That was awesome.
Was that the time you went?
No, that was like last Saturday.
Wait, you
Or
went to another one?
no. They live stream it. I
Oh,
just
oh,
watched it. I
oh.
watched it live, not in person.
Got it. Makes
John
sense.
Cena has been a hero for everybody. Well, he's been a hero to a lot of kids. I think he holds the record for the most Make-A-Wish grants ever.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's him. Mainly because he's been such a good dude. He's like, hustle, loyalty, respect,
He
eat
betrayed
your
him for the Rock.
vitamins. Yeah.
He turned evil for the sake of being, for the sake of it's
It's okay. It's okay. Let it out. Let the tears out. He
all
turned.
because of the Rock.
He turned because of The Rock.
I knew he was a villain.
Who, The Rock or John
Yeah,
Cena?
the Rock.
Yeah. Well, The Rock,
I've
the
never
final
trusted that
boss version
man.
of The Rock. Yeah, he's a little He's like a corporate overlord basically, and he's coming
What
for it
can I
all.
say? Listen, I've been having beef with The Rock ever since he destroyed the Black Adam movie.
Okay, that's yeah. I guess that's one spot to start disliking him at.
Also, I just I don't know. I feel like some people are really good at playing certain roles, but I would like to see what else they can do sometimes. And I'm kind of tired of seeing The Rock be The Rock.
You trying to say he typecasted himself?
Yes,
Yep, he plays The Rock.
in every movie he's in and everything he's in, he's just The Rock.
I mean, it worked 40 years ago,
I
and it's
mean, yeah.
continued to work for 40 years.
And people will argue, okay, well, what about Maui from Moana and this and that? Yes, I get that. He's still The Rock.
Yeah, he just
He's an
sings.
action movie star.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He is just himself. Which is it's not a bad thing in the grand scheme of things. But for me, I like to see range and like in acting. And so like because like even Kevin Hart, I know recently he's been doing more serious roles.
Yeah, yeah. A
And I'm
lot of
like,
comedians
whoa,
have have those chops.
yeah. And then we have people. I mean, I guess that's a curse of being an action film star. Is oftentimes you just get typecasted as, oh, this is the action movie star, like Bruce Willis.
Yeah,
He's in
sure.
nonstop action movies, which not a bad thing. But I can't think of a movie that Bruce Willis is in that is an action movie.
Yeah, he's pretty much built his career off of that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
What do you think about people like Jackie Chan? You know that they
we haven't
really
seen
only
him in a
do
while.
action comedy. Well, he's kind of
Yeah,
semi-retired,
I do
but
believe so.
action comedy, and he's just done that for
Yeah,
not all comedy, but all martial arts
yeah, and I
adjacent.
guess I'm kind of I guess it would be a double standard for me to not feel some kind of way towards Jackie Chan, because he does also pretty much just play Jackie Chan in all of his films too.
Mhm, mhm.
But I don't know. I think it might. I don't. It might not even be the acting that's the problem. I think it's just the movie projects that they take on or that he takes on, where
Yeah,
he
fair.
is put in roles where he's just himself. But I mean, again, it works, and I'm not
Mhm.
saying that in like a problematic kind of way. I just want to see what more he can do. You know.
Yeah, yeah, that's
And like
fair.
even whenever he has movies where he plays like a softer character, it's still just The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock with very poorly written jokes.
Well, I know everybody's really excited to see how WrestleMania is gonna go, because I
Correct.
believe that's gonna be the big payoff for this John Cena turning evil with The Rock. A lot of people are thinking they're gonna get a third member in the group. I
A
gotta
whole
go back and
stable.
watch the yeah. They've had I didn't watch yesterday's show, but there was apparently more information gathered.
Mhm.
It's awful because they're so good at being online. They do it live, right, on TV, and they'd also stream it on Netflix sometimes. But
Yeah.
because of the way that they're so ingrained on, like, Twitter and YouTube and every social media platform, it
Mhm.
is almost impossible to not see spoilers.
Yeah.
Like, most of them, they post the day, like, when it's happening. They're also releasing stuff online and going, "Whoa, did you see that this person just kicked this person in the balls?" Like,
Mhm.
no, this was a big thing that happened. It was like a 10-year buildup to their rivalry that's really finally paying off. And that would have been nice to see either live or
On my
on the
own.
replay. Yeah, without you going, "Oh my god, did you see?"
Did
No,
you see
they're
this
like the
event that
annoying.
happened?
Yeah, it's like the annoying friend that just spoils the end of the movie for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
But
I
speaking
mean,
of spoiling
just
the
don't be
end of the
chronically
movie,
online.
yeah,
What?
pretty much, yeah. Man, all these flew into each other. Am I just a really good host? Except that
You're something, all right.
I talk too much.
Yeah,
I
shut the
never
hell
shut
up.
up. Speaking of the ending of a movie, okay. Have you seen there's a
He's
movie
back
coming
in his
out.
movie corner.
I know. I said I wasn't gonna go to this, but have you seen that there is a new movie coming out called Last Breath?
Last breath.
Yeah, it's like an underwater. They're like mining underwater or something like that. With Woody
Uh,
Harrelson as the lead.
Last Breath, Last Breath. I don't know. I don't think so.
Hmm. Well, it's an interesting cast because Woody Harrelson, right, been in a lot of stuff. Finn
Mhm.
Cole, who is famous, at least I know him from Peaky Blinders, and then Simu Liu, who is from Marvel's
Yeah,
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Yep, yep. There's also a lot more, but I think those are the three. Those are the ones on the poster, at least.
Oh. Apparently this is a feature film adaptation of a documentary called Last Breath in 2018. Um,
Oh, interesting.
but it's fictionalized and dramatized.
Sure,
Of course,
yeah.
because it's got to be a movie. But it's about a real life event where they're about individuals in a diving accident.
Wow, I didn't know it was based on a true story. That's pretty
I
sick.
also didn't know.
That kinda makes me actually wanna go see it now because I had determined that I didn't want to after having
Yeah.
watched a different underwater movie,
Mm-hmm.
uh, called Underwater. That's the name of the movie. It's from 2020.
Underwater.
Yeah,
Is that Christian or Kristen Stewart? It
yes,
is.
yes. I was excited to watch this because it sounded really cool. Okay, let me give you some build up to this. We were looking for a movie to watch and didn't really have anything in mind, so I was just kind of mindlessly scrolling trying to find something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sort of going down a rabbit hole of these weird B movies. And the one that I found that I got really excited for, the log line
You
was
like jazz?
the no,
Sorry.
no, it was not jazz. It was
You
I was
said
very
you said
excited.
the B movie.
Oh, yes, yes. Don't distract me. I'm on a roll. I got really excited because I saw the log line for one of these movies was a group of World War II soldiers are smuggling Hitler's remains through not medieval Europe, sorry, regular Europe, and are attacked by Nazi werewolves. I
What?
was like, this is the greatest movie I've ever heard of in my life. The poster looked cool. I was so excited, only to find out not actually werewolves. The werewolves
Mhm.
were just like the name of the platoon that attacks the people. I
Uh.
I was very misled. And so in my disgust, I decided to just watch this other movie because this was one of the other recommended ones. And they're like, oh, yeah, Kristen Nelson's pretty awesome in this. Cool. All
Mhm.
right. Good enough. Um, I don't like to, I often find it difficult to write reviews of movies that I really enjoy
Yeah.
because I find it hard to sort of you have to look for stuff. Usually I'll be like, well, this is like a 5-star movie, but it would be a 5-star movie if they did
If
2 or
they actually
3
had Nazi
things.
wolves.
Yeah, yeah. If they did 2 or 3 things differently, this would be like 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, right? So I start at 5 and I kind of go
Mhm.
down by half stars and go, well, if
That's
they
fair.
had done something like this with the plot or, had this twist been better foretold, it would be a 5-star, right? However, dock them half a point, dock them half a point. So it's like a 4-star out of 5, right? 8 out of 10. That's a pretty solid movie. Some movies, I start from the other side of the scale. I go,
Okay.
this is a 0-star movie.
Oh.
But because I liked this and this and this, I'll give you half a star and another half a star and another half a star. So here is your 1.5 out of 5 rating,
Dear
right?
Lord.
Underwater kind of fell on that side for me.
Okay.
So it's like it says, it's underwater. It's also a creature feature. So there's um uh
Feature creature.
don't watch this movie. If you really want to watch this movie, you can watch this
Featuring the
movie.
creature.
It's Cthulhu. There's a Cthulhu monster.
Mhm.
They drill too deep. It's like anti-capitalist, anti-mining sort of thing. They drill too deep. They unleash Cthulhu and all of Cthulhu's babies and Cthulhu's babies, and they attack this at the bottom of the Marianas Trench, super deep sea diving rig, right?
Okay.
Um, it's so deep that there is no light at the bottom of the Marianas Trench, which makes it very difficult to see the monsters, especially when they don't make efforts to make us be able to see the monsters.
Oh,
We get one shot of a dead creature that they kill, and it's the little baby form. And it kind of is like, I don't know if you've seen Alien, but it's a very similar kind of scene where they slap it down on this really bright table and then kind of dissect it, and then it
yeah.
moves around, and jump scares them a little bit.
Okay. I get you. I get you.
It's fine, right? It's a good introduction to the monster, but then we get introduced to the like a sort of adult version that's not Cthulhu, but the adult version, which is much larger. But we almost never get to see it. I mean, we get glimpses of it. There's a little bit of lighting that sometimes catches just a little bit of it, but you never once really get a good you looking at me looking at you,
Oh.
monster square off.
Mhm.
Which I was like, this is I will give this, like, I will raise it a whole half a star if they show me the monster. They do not show the monster. However, they do have a really cool reveal for Cthulhu, because you sort of get the little one. They're like, oh my god, these adult ones are bigger. They're like twice our size. But
Mhm.
then they're sort of hinting at this the whole movie. They're like, that drill that we're using weighs like 6,000 tons, and something flipped it end over end. What could have done that? It's like,
Yeah.
well, maybe there's a bigger fish out there. Who knows? They were like, oh, maybe we hit a gas pocket and it exploded and sent it flying, right? But we
Mhm.
finally get this cool. The only really There were like three cool moments in the whole movie, and one of them was this like really far off shot of Cthulhu under the water, and then sort of these flashing lights on the side, very Godzilla-esque, right?
Mhm.
All you get to see is this thing's silhouette. And against the whole mining operation, you can see just how gargantuan it is. And that was awesome.
I see.
Unfortunately, the movie's an hour and a half long, and that was about 5 seconds. So, also, I have to talk. I have to how
And
familiar are you with these sort of monster slashers, right? Where they're getting picked off one by the monster.
oh.
Have you seen Alien, for example?
I don't think so, but
Okay.
I
Well,
know of it,
to
of
sort of
course.
beat by beat the beginning bit, everybody dies, they're all killed by the alien. But at the very beginning, right?
Mhm.
They're on like a ship stranded in the middle of space. This one, they're in a undersea mining thing. Pretty much the exact same sort of premise, stranded in the middle of nowhere. In Alien, you get to kind of meet the cast, right? You get to meet your main hero. You get to meet, well, Ripley is the name of the character. I'm struggling to remember the actress's name right now, but you get to meet Ripley, and you get to meet all of the other little characters, right? You get to meet this dysfunctional family, and some of them are kind of jerks, some of them are kind of nice. There's like some weird, sexual tension between a couple of them. You get to understand the dynamics of this crew, right? Which makes it far more impactful when the monster starts, when it bursts out of that dude's belly and then proceeds to kill people on the ship. And then, you're watching like people that you're kind of cool with die.
Mhm.
I also have heard, I'm sure you've heard the saying, you should start your story as close to the end as possible.
Yeah.
This movie does that to a T, because it starts I mean, we get to meet our main character while she's like brushing her teeth and sort of internally monologuing to herself. And then the whole platform explodes.
God
And we
dang.
get to meet nobody until she's running down the hallway and manages to rescue some random dude. Then they rescue another random dude who then turns out to be kind of the like asshole jokester prankster type,
Mhm.
cracking jokes at the bad time to try and deal with the stress sort of situation.
Yeah.
And then,
Comedic relief.
yeah, and then they keep talking. They keep introducing new characters, and then they keep inserting lines, right? Like, so, how's your daughter? Like, what do you have to live for? That's
Mm.
sort of basic.
So we're not getting the backstory, we're getting them in the story, and they're telling us
Yes!
about it.
Yes! They're like, "How is your daughter doing?" "Oh, she's great. She's 14." "No, she's not 14. She's actually, like, 25, but that's, you're in a stressful situation, and I understand that you're kinda trapped in the past." It's like, it was so unbelievably shoehorned in. It
Mhm.
was crazy. Like when I say some movies start at 0 and have to work their way up, that's what this
Yeah.
movie was. It was so it was bad. It was like
You're
not
talking
even in like the so
talking about
good it was
underwater?
bad. Yeah. It was not even like in like this it was so good it was bad kind of bad. It was like this is just not fun.
Yeah. Can I make a comment?
Of course.
I looked up underwater creature and, it showed me Cthulhu or whatever, and then I found a video that was like, "Underwater 2020 all monster scenes." Do you know how
Woo.
long this video is?
Oh, probably 2.5 minutes.
It's
Look at
5
this.
minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes out of an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
See,
They do have some cool little spacesuits that they get to walk around on the water with, but
I will say that's one of my kind of issues with, like, modern day monster movies, or I guess movies that are about monsters,
Mhm.
but the monster is the B plot.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, that was very much what it felt like.
Yeah. Like, um, I guess I haven't seen all of them, but I know some of, like, the modern day, like, kaiju movies, like Godzilla movies especially. The American ones at least. They're really most of the American Godzilla movies, Godzilla was the B plot of
Yeah, like
its
in
own
minus
movies.
one. Yeah, he
So,
was
okay, minus
barely
one,
there.
I
That
won't
well, that
I'm not
that
including
might
that
be
one.
that might be
That
the
one's
opposite.
Japanese.
Yeah, it also had a really strong A
Y
plot.
yeah. The thing about I think it's because in the Japanese movies, Godzilla is just the reincarnation of a destruction and is a force of nature. Like,
Mhm.
it's just there to destroy things, it's moving completely on instinct. Like, there's no kind of, like, I don't wanna say redeemable qualities about Godzilla, but, like, there's nothing there for you to try to relate to or try to adhere to its better nature to. Versus the American Godzilla movies where it's the opposite of that. Godzilla is, a destroyer, it destroys things, but there's also the side to Godzilla that has you like, maybe Godzilla isn't so bad, or like, oh, we can appeal to Godzilla's, better nature, or, oh, Godzilla is a hero, as opposed to Godzilla is a force of nature. And because of that, I
Right.
think that's why they have to make Godzilla the B plot because it's like, if you don't, what movie are you gonna have? You
Yeah,
know?
true. There's just like a
Uh,
helicopter following Godzilla around as he eats stuff.
yeah, and like, I think that's been my issue with not issues, but my I don't wanna call it a critique because like I don't think I can put a critique on a film studio because I'm not a film guy, but like storytelling wise, I think that's
You're a
my biggest.
consumer, that
I
means
am a
you have
consumer.
a voice.
That's one of my biggest beefs with, like, the legendary Godzilla movies outside of, obviously, they've basically Michael Bay'd it, where it's, like, this action-packed kinda movie instead of just like, "Oh, we have this monster that's destroying things." It's like, "Oh, he just suplexed a giant fucking bug," which
Mhm.
cool as shit, I can't lie to you. Um, but I don't know. I like the Japanese version of Godzilla better simply for the fact that humans they're gonna be the main characters, but Godzilla is there throughout a good chunk of it, and it is like it's very present that Godzilla is the antagonist, and Godzilla is not here to save everybody versus the
Mm.
American movies. And like with the most recent one, Godzilla X Kong, um, Godzilla had probably less screen time than every other character in the movie that wasn't killed,
Yeah. Yeah. I
and it's
mean,
like,
it's weird because usually I see a lot of people, a lot of horror directors, right? They're sort of like, you don't have to show the monster,
yeah.
but you should.
Yeah, you should. Especially if the Godzilla is one of the main characters.
Oh
Literally all
yeah, yeah.
up until the final like the climax of the movie. The only times we saw Godzilla was when it was fighting other kaiju or it was sleeping, and that was it.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, we got a whole like God of War God of War like plot for King Kong,
Yeah.
which love that by the way. I love that. It was great. Um
Yep.
but it's like it's a Godzilla movie. I'm here to see Godzilla and King Kong.
He
But
is.
like
Yeah, his name is on the poster.
it's the first name.
I mean,
But yeah, I
that's
don't
me
know.
hearing Nazi werewolves and then
Yeah.
immediately we almost if we had watched that movie,
Mhm.
I I might have emailed Hulu and been like, "What is wrong with you people?"
Yeah. Cuz I think it was me and Jacob went to go see it if I remember correctly. I don't think yeah, cuz this is well after you left. And Jacob loves the Godzilla franchise.
Sure, yeah.
So I I went into it very skeptical because I've loved Godzilla since I was a kid, but I've never been a big fan of like modern Godzilla just because again the way I feel about it. And so I went into it very skeptical. For what it was a good movie. Storytelling wise, I feel like we could focus a little bit more on Godzilla. And I think that
Right.
is another thing is with these like monster movies is and that's how I also felt about like the Sonic movies. When you add humans either it comes out really well or it comes out not very good because humans end up taking the spotlight over the actual characters.
Yeah, we are pretty cool.
Yeah, and so like with the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, in the first movie or with those movies, human screen time has decreased every movie. And it's because you're going to see a movie about a blue hedgehog. Why are we sitting here worrying about humans that are having lover squirrels?
Yeah, especially on, like, the 3rd movie.
Yeah.
Pretty much like, "Tap it out, guys. Take it
And
back to the
so
bedroom."
very much. Uh, I don't know. Wait, yeah, I agree, whatever. Uh, no, or like, because I think that outside of if you remember the Godzilla 2000 movie where it was Godzilla in New York, but it was like a completely different Godzilla and like it was breeding and like laying eggs and stuff under in the sewers and shit.
Not
That
really.
one oh, well, that one is, I think, one of the worst rated Godzilla movies. One, because its design is terrible.
Th
But
Yeah.
two, because it's an American adaptation of Godzilla, so obviously it's gonna be very Americanized. But that's one of the few Godzilla movies where it's like, "Oh, Godzilla, again, is this force of destruction." And like they try to follow the formula from the Japanese movies, and for that it did pretty decently, but still Americanized a lot of it and didn't really come out too well. I still love that movie though. It's like one of those movies that are bad but you enjoy it because it's bad.
Oh, sure, yeah.
um but
Those are sometimes
yeah
the best kind.
but yeah since you were talking about underwater monster movies,
Oh,
there
yeah?
was one. I don't remember. I think you and me went to go see it at the mall that one time. The Shape of Water.
I I haven't seen The Shape of
It's
Water.
who did I? Was it DJ then?
That's the
It
one where
might
the
have been
lady wants to,
DJ.
bone the fish, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was DJ then. Because I remember going and I'm like, what am I watching? But
Yeah.
it's a love
Yeah.
story between a deaf woman and a highly intelligent fish monster that's an experiment, and they fall for each other because she's the only one that can actually communicate with they're the only ones who can communicate with each other because he knows sign language apparently.
Nice. There's
Um,
subtitles on that movie?
I assume so, I don't remember. That came out in 2019, so that was a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, monsters and stuff.
It's weird that, I mean, it's February, right? I don't know why I've been on such a big monster kick. I think I
The
was telling you
Monster
about my
Mash.
I was telling you about my vampire rabbit hole.
Mhm.
Now I've sort of gone down, like, the werewolf rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've already talked
It's
about
only
that,
it's
but
only makes sense.
yeah, yeah. I've gotten to the point where it's weird because I've been trying to find movies where they're sort of genre adjacent, right?
Mhm.
Like I was watching some summer camp movies in the middle of February. I'm not really sure why, but I was like, yeah, this movie gave me a
Escapism.
nice feeling. Yeah, I wonder if there are any other cool sort of, summer fling kind of movies that are out there.
Mhm.
Then I watched like a werewolf movie and went, well, that was awesome. I'd like to see some more werewolf action. I know how big that genre is. Let me find
Yeah.
like the best five and watch them.
And what did you come up with? Let's go. I
Oh,
know you have
I
your
I,
list.
I didn't prepare. I didn't prepare a list of my
Oh,
werewolf
oh,
ones.
oh. Well, what did you watch?
Well, that like I don't want to go now that I've seen one sort of submarine underwater mining movie.
Now
I
you gotta find some
think
more.
I think I've lost interest in watching the underwater mining
Oh,
monster movie because I've
yeah.
watched another one before where oh man I forget the name of it. They met aliens, right? There was
Mhm.
like a spaceship parked at the bottom of the ocean, and they went and met them. But
Have you
there was
watched
some pretty
Atlantis?
the animated one.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
that
a
does
good
not
movie. I
count.
just like
That
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 one.
does not count as underwater.
But they go underwater, don't they?
Well, they yes, to access an above ground area.
That's rude. You could watch the Aquaman movies.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm not interested in watching underwater movies right now. I don't know what I'm gonna watch because I went from sort of yeah vampires to crime, sort of mafia crime stuff, then to uh boy summer camp stuff, then
Mhm.
werewolves. Now I'm in a medieval zone, having gone to the Renaissance Fair, which if you want to know more about that, you can tune into our special episode.
Is that gonna get released today too, or are we
I
gonna?
don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
We've been here long enough that I think we finish this and call it.
Yeah. Well, we have to get it uploaded and stuff.
I know. We need to get this shipped at a certain point.
Oh, I'm so
I
tired.
was excited to get through. I've gotten through my other topic. I mean, the only other thing that I would be able to talk about here is
Mhm.
another movie, but it didn't really have to do with the movie itself
Yeah.
because the movie's called The Last Duel, and it's a historical movie that's based on I think the last sanctioned fight to the death back in the medieval era.
Mhm.
Which is a very fascinating because it's like Matt Damon and the guy that plays Kylo Ren.
Adam Driver.
Thank you, Adam Driver. Are both uh, they're like knights. And
This is a more recent movie, isn't it?
2021, yeah.
Okay.
And they both Matt Damon is like married to this lady, and then Adam Driver ends
Matt
up
Damon.
sexually assaulting her.
Huh.
But it's the same story told three times, once from each perspective.
Mm.
Once from Matt Damon, once from Adam Driver, and once from Jodie Comer. That's who plays the love interest or the wife, I
Interesting.
suppose.
The
But
last
it's basically
duel.
like Matt Damon's character's point of view of the events, and then we rewind back to the start and tell the exact same story, but from Adam Driver's point of view, where he sort of embellishes, himself over the heroics of Matt Damon's character.
Yeah.
And
What question?
yeah,
So you said you're in your medieval movie kind of era right now, right?
yep.
Does that include like mythological movies too, like Greek mythology? Because that's kind of medieval almost, or at least the way
Mm,
that it's portrayed could be kind of medieval. I'm only asking because the one I was thinking of immediately was Jason and the Argonauts. That's like a movie from the '60s, but I remember
yeah,
we used to watch that as a kid.
that's an ancient classic.
Uh, you could also you and me we went and saw the Green Knight, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was a good one.
That was oh yeah, that was awesome. That was the Camelot-esque, which is that was another movie that I watched was about uh it wasn't called Camelot. It was The Last Night. Oh, sorry.
Mhm.
The First Night, not
I
The
was about to say
Last
the
Duel.
last night. You mean
Yeah.
Optimus Prime?
No, no.
You can watch. You can technically watch. At least the first three Shrek movies
Yeah.
because
Like
those
I
deal
said,
with
I'm
like
not looking for
knighthood.
I will ask for I've seen those. I've seen all of those. I I
You hear
I
that
I
Shrek
I,
Five's been announced?
I don't yes, I have heard that. I saw the trailer for it too. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah,
But
a lot of
hold on.
people are. Oh,
The
sorry.
Last Duel, right?
Uh
Same
huh.
story told three different ways. Where we basically this sort of all leads up to this culmination point where Adam Driver, from his point of view, has a romantic fling with a married woman.
Mhm.
From the married woman's point of view, she got, sexually assaulted by this guy. And then from the other dude's point of view, it's this guy is trying to ruin my life and has been for like 20 years. I'm not surprised he would do something like this, even though it's like from his point of view, it seems unclear if she's telling the truth
Yeah.
because there's so much political stuff. Honestly, I feel like it could have been more. I don't know. I feel like I could talk about The Last Duel for a really long time and what could make it cooler, but
Yeah.
the short and skinny of it is it was a unique movie that I've never seen the way that it was done before
Mhm.
because like I said, the same story told three ways from three different points of view, all about the exact same event and with the same dialogue, but the way that they were phrasing it and like the
Oh.
intonations and the like looks they were giving each other were different each time because they're from a
Yeah.
different perspective, right? So
All the nuances and such.
yeah, it was like trying to show how I guess Adam Driver's character thought that it was mutual, right?
Mhm.
And then how Comer's character was like, I all I was trying to do was be nice to him. And then the other
Right.
guy, I don't know what it was from his point of view, just him not being the bad guy and ending up
Mm.
having to fight for his for the justice in the universe. But it
Here,
was a
let's
very
make
cool movie. Very, very gory, very bloody. It was the fight scenes were amazing.
John, let's make a
Yeah.
movie called The Final Joust.
The final joust. I'm sure that exists. Is it the last joust that's ever sanctioned? Because they did that last Friday for me.
I don't know. I just work here, man.
What is the last joust?
I don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out. That's what we gotta work on.
The last joust the best. Yeah, well,
Uh,
tune in next time to see our. We'll pitch to you the last joust,
yeah.
and we'll
Oh,
secure some
what's
funding.
the Holy Grail? What's that movie called? The
Monty
funny
Python.
Monty Python. Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
you
yeah,
could watch
that one.
that.
I've seen that a couple of times. That was
Watch
great.
it
Life of
again.
Brian's also pretty similar. That's biblical.
Oh, I've only watched it one time,
Oh,
because
wait.
Jacob was like, "You've never seen this?" And I was like, "No." And he goes, "Sit down, we're watching it." And I said, "Okay."
Yes. Speaking of Monty Python, they
Mhm.
just released their tabletop version, like D&D, but Monty Python.
Mhm. Mhm. Interesting.
And I'll let you know what the copy looks like when it arrives at my house.
All right. I
Well,
see. I
thanks for
see.
watching, everybody.
Thanks for
We look at that. We
listening.